Seriously, sort it out. All right, but speaking of, there are some things we don't want to reveal. This is how I want to segue to the private beta discussion, because I can say this thing before Yannick gets into his whole speech about it. The private beta, where you start in it, will not be at the exact start of the game. Again, this might be familiar from the first game when we didn't start you at the start.
Yeah.
I guess that's all I want to say.
I think
segue to private
it's
beta.
one thing we do is the beta, right? We want to give a lot of content to people. We want all of you to be able to experience as much of the game as possible, but we also want to be careful not to spoil the story too much. So there are elements of the story that we're keeping out of the beta, just because we want people to experience them when they actually start the game. So yes, the part that happens before the beta begins, we're going to be keeping that under wraps, so people can discover that story when it's actually time to then play the whole story.
I still haven't seen it. I have no idea. I literally have zero idea, so I'm stoked about that. All right. So like I said before, I'm going to be playing through what I think is about the first hour of the beta. But for the people who are, lucky enough to get in, not lucky enough, but who have the ability to get into the private beta on Thursday, what will be the first thing that they do once they get in?
Well, I mean, the first thing that they'll do is creating a character. Right, and so we have character customization in the game, and for the beta we want to also keep it as a surprise, keep it as something that people will discover, really spend the time to actually customize their character. In the beta, we're just going to offer you the option to randomize your character.
Cool.
Just so you can find a look that is similar to what you would want to go for. But we also don't want you to spend too much time in that, because it still is a temporary character. It's not going to be the one you keep for the main game. Yeah, so we don't want to give you too much of the customization. So you're going to have to be randomizing it.
We actually have a clip that we can show of how this whole thing works. The cool thing is that you will notice is that even though we aren't giving you the option to fully customize your character, there's a lot of options. There's a huge amount of options, but also just the progression made in the Division 2 is, I think, so yeah, again, we'll probably randomize a few characters in the live demo of the private beta in a minute. Also, I didn't mention it before, we're going to do some giveaways during that whole time, so stick around for that.
Yeah.
All right, so you've made your character. What happens next?
So you've made your character, and then basically, so there's a part, as I said, we keep under wraps, so that's not going to be in the beta. So what happens is you start directly in Washington, D.C. So as Drew was saying, the game takes place in Washington, D.C. 7 months later. So you are an agent. You are a veteran agent that's been activated months ago, and that's made their way to Washington, D.C. to answer distress call. So you're going to be that agent that finally arrives in Washington, D.C. And the first thing that you need to do is establish a base of operations. And you know that there is one existing that is at the White House, which is probably one of the most important buildings in that city. But the White House right now is being under siege and being overrun by hyenas. So that's going to be the first thing you do, is basically go there, liberate the White House, and establish your base of operations there.
Cool. All right. So we've established our base of operations there. What other content is there for people to experience in the beta?
So after that, I mean, then you're going to be making your way to the first settlement. We've talked about settlements, which are these kind of like pockets of civilians banding together to fight against the faction. So you're going to make your way to the first settlement, and then from there, you're going to start unlocking a lot of things. So we're going to have 2 main missions that you can play in the game. We also have side missions. We have 5 side missions that are available. And we talked a bit about the side missions and how different they are compared to the first game. Here, it's really like a smaller size mission, more than just kind of like repeated kind of activities in the world, like
absolutely,
game, right?
Yeah, because in the first game you had like go and hit these machines in a specific order, basically in quite a few zones. But you're saying like the team have made bespoke solutions for basically everything.
Yeah, that's right.
That's cool.
Yeah. So each side mission,
really cool.
Yeah.
Each side mission is unique. Each one is completely handcrafted. So you're gonna have 5 of those in the beta, and then there's a lot of open world. I mean, we talked about the living world system. You'll get to actually experience that in the beta. There's a whole part of the map that is available. You have control points. You have living world activities. You have a lot of resource nodes to discover. A lot of scavenging to do. A lot of collectibles also to find. The collectibles are there. The audio logs, the echoes. All of these are there that you can also unlock. And then on top of that, what we have is the dark zone.
Yep, of course.
We have to have the dark zone. So the thing that's a bit different with the dark zone here is that we've added an introduction mission to the dark zone, and the idea was really to try to bring people there in kind of a bit of a safe context, so they can actually make their first experience in the dark zone, kind of teach them what are the rules of the dark zone, how is it different from the rest, before you first then experience.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, what happened?
Instead of a trial by fire.
Kind of. So we have that, the dark zone. We also have, organized PvP with conflict. So we'll have one game mode, which is skirmish. And
I don't think we've shown that map before either. It's on Stadium, I think.
It's on Stadium, I don't know if we've shown that one. But yeah, so we'll have one game mode and one map available here. That will be available pretty early on. So for the people that just want a PvP, you can directly go there. Everything is normalized, so you don't even have to worry too much about your gear or about your character. You can just directly, as soon as you unlock the base of operations, actually, you will be able to go into PvP.
So that'll keep people busy for quite a while. All the open world activities, Dark Zone, the 2 main missions. I think it was 5 side missions. But then there's the invaded main mission.
Yes.
How do you get into those? Into that, because there's one.
Yeah. So there's one invaded main mission. So the second mission that you get in the beta, it's called Jefferson Trade Center. You will get to play it as part of the normal game flow. So when you're level like 4 or 5 or something, you get to play it. And once you completed that mission, we will unlock the invaded version of it. So that will happen. So there's a time, which is on Friday at 5 p.m. our time. So that's 5 p.m. CET. We will make it available to all the people that already completed the mission in the normal playthrough, all the people that complete the mission afterwards. And starting from that point, what you can do is basically log out of your character.
We can show this actually. I made a little clip of it before.
Nice. I didn't even know
because
that.
I think it's a little bit confusing. Like you'll get this notification, and then it probably
thank you, Hamish. I'm trying to explain something, and you're like, that's a bit confusing.
But this is how it works, right?
It probably is. So yes, exactly. So once you've completed the main mission in the normal playthrough of the beta, and after the time that I said, then you get to log out, and yes, you will have 3 level 30 characters fully equipped, each one with a different specialization. So you can just log into any of those characters, and then you will get to replay that mission, Jefferson Trade Center, but level 30 endgame with the Black Tusk as an enemy. And you can play it as many times as you want with any of the 3 characters. Log out, select another one, log back in. You can matchmake there, so you can also, you don't have to play solo, you can play in a group.
That's cool.
So yeah.
All right. And also, like, if people really wanted to experience that whole beta flow all over again, like the White House liberation and all of that, they can delete their characters as well.
Yeah, you can delete. So we only allow you to create 1 character, and the reason is that we need the other 3 character slots for the level 30 characters. But therefore, that first character, you can delete it and create a new one if you want to replay everything. Mind you, there's a lot to do, so you shouldn't be running out of things to do in that beta. I mean, we're looking at many hours of content just for that. So, yeah. But if you want to replay the beginning, you can just delete your character and create a new one.
Nice. One of the other things, actually, people have seen it in loading screens that got leaked and all of that, but photo mode is coming.
Yes.
It's so cool.
To the Division 2. And correct me if I'm wrong, but Leamington deserve mad props for that. So
absolutely,
thanks.
It's pretty.
They did great work.
Yeah, it's pretty fantastic.
I'm really psyched about it, and I know a bunch of the Division community will definitely get a lot of mileage out of that as well.
It was such a requested thing on the first game, so it was like we had to have it.
A lot of the devs, right, have loved making wallpapers.
Yeah, absolutely. That's true. That's true. So it's a bit self-serving as well. But it's it's something we're also very excited about, and we are very, very excited to see how people are going to be using it. Because there's so much to see in the world. There's so much to discover. There's so many things. We know how people would love to just go explore the world in the first game and just make screenshots of what they find, because there's a lot to discover, a lot of hidden small stories and micro elements everywhere. So now we actually have a photo mode that allows you to make some very, very good shots of that. So yeah, very exciting to see what people will make out of it.
Nice. All right, time for Yannick to really do his job? This is a fun question
so
for
far
you.
It was just like, well.
I like this one. No, but obviously a lot of the things that I see online, people are really psyched for the beta, but they are wondering, who has access? How do I get in? Where do I redeem keys? What do those keys mean and all of that? So who gets in and how?
Yeah, so for the beta, what we're doing is that you have two ways to access. If you pre-order the game, you get a guaranteed access to it. Or otherwise, you can register on the Division website, thedivision.com/beta, and there you can register for a chance to be selected. So we're going to be inviting people who pre-ordered, and then a lot of people also that just registered and are just waiting for a chance to actually be playing the game. I know that a lot of people were asking about when are they actually going to be getting the keys. So everything is going to be sent tomorrow. So tomorrow, that is the 6th of February at 10 a.m. CET, so 10 a.m. our time. We are going to be starting sending the invites to everyone. So if you've been selected, you will receive an invite at this point. You may or may not get a key depending, because the access is a bit different depending on how you get your access. If you're on PC, if you're on console and all of that, it's a bit different. So just follow the instructions that are in the invitation. But yeah, all of that is going to start running out tomorrow. So, and what that means is also that starting tomorrow, 10 a.m., so from the moment you get the invitation, we also have a preload that is available.
That's exactly what I was going to ask you. When can people download stuff?
Yes. So yeah, starting from tomorrow as well, we have the preload, so you will have 24 hours to download the build before we open the servers.
This is my terrible internet New Zealand brain talking. How big is the download?
You will want to get to it pretty fast, because we're talking about 45 gigabytes.
It's big.
Yeah, it's big.
All right,
it's the game.
It's
a big piece of the game, so that's a big download. So really get to it as soon as you can.
All right. Well, that's a lot. That's big. The other thing is, can people bring a friend?
Yes, actually, yes.
Oh, people asked about that before.
Yeah. So yeah, what we're doing with that beta is also we are allowing people to invite their friends. So everybody that gets access to the beta, pre-order or not pre-order, whatever, everybody that gets granted access to the beta gets to invite 3 of their friends as well. So you will have a module on the website to do that. You can put 3 email addresses, and then your friends will receive an invitation as well. Those that are invited through the friend invite do not get to invite more friends. So
that would be...
Sorry. Eventually, it's running out of control.
One could say it's exponential, Yannick.
You know what? I was wondering, is that actually exponential? I would never use that word again.
Sorry.
For those who know.
Throwback to Yannick being Captain Exponential. Oh, okay. That's wow. Funny. This is like way too meta for right now. So 24 hours to preload from 10 a.m. our time tomorrow. So that would be
4 Eastern.
4 Eastern.
4 Eastern.
1 Pacific.
Yep.
10 p.m. New Zealand. 8 p.m. Sydney. What? We always get left out. Why are you guys laughing? It's always like Europe, US, every time zone in the US. No, why you, I don't know why you're laughing.
One time zone in New Zealand?
Of course.
Yeah.
Do you think like New Zealand's like sideways like this, like super wide? We're not Australia. I'm
curious. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Okay, that's enough. But okay, so in the Division 1, there were beta rewards. Yannick, do you have any more rewards for us this time?
Yes, we'll have rewards for the beta. So we have weapon skin for everybody that participates, and then we have some special reward for people that also complete the endgame mission.
All right. Are you able to tell us what they are, or are you going to hold those?
No, because I forgot.
I don't remember what they are either.
I'm really good at my job.
Okay. No, but that'll be cool. I'm sure.
Yeah.
The artists here are really good at their stuff.
Yeah,
so
I'm sure. I mean,
that'll be good stuff.
Do you have anything to show? No?
I actually don't.
So then,
wow, touche.
So then,
all right, I didn't do my job either. So obviously
there
the beta,
will be a reward.
People are really excited about the beta, myself included. But what for you and the, I guess, live team and also production, what are the things that you look at during this period, and what are the focuses for the team during this phase?
I mean, there's many aspects. One of the important one is obviously all the online aspect, right? It's going to be the first time we have that many players that are going to come in, hammer the servers, try to log in, try to matchmake, try to go in PvP, try to load different maps, going from different data centers. We're going to be running a few tests in the background as well on our side. And so that's one of the huge takeaways is first making sure that the infrastructure is solid and is ready for an even bigger load moving forward. So that's one aspect. The other aspect, and that's something that for the design teams especially is also going to be very interesting, is all the data that we're getting from that.
That's right. Yeah, and feedback as well.
Yeah, and
like
feedback
it's not
then
just...
was the third one as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
sorry, I jumped the gun.
No, that's fine. But it's the two things. It's looking at the data on how people play and how far do they make it, how many times do they die, and all these kind of things. But also then, obviously looking at the feedback we're going to get from the community. What are people talking about? What do they like? What do they not like? And all these kind of things.
Cool. I mean, I think it's fair to say that the beta has a lot of content.
Yeah.
Why? Why did you put so much content in the beta?
Well, there's many reasons why. One is that that's just the game. That's like we didn't actually create something that is like alien to what the game actually is. That's just when you take a slice from level 1 to 7, which is what we're giving you. That's as much content as you get. I mean, that's like we didn't really add anything on top of that. That's just how dense the game is. And I think that was an important message we wanted to get out there. Is like there's so much to do in this game. There really is a lot of things to discover. So we wanted to give that to the players. We wanted all of you to experience all the different aspects, the PvP, the PvE, the open world, the missions, the invaded missions, all these kind of things, the also interaction with the settlement. All of these are really interesting for us to just like put in your hands and see what you think about it. So I think that's one of the reasons. And then there's also, other reasons, like, for example, making sure that people have enough to play to stay on for the whole weekend. And so that way we can make sure that we have a lot of people that are always connected, which helps also for us with all the online aspect, for example.
Sneaky. So, get that server.
But it's like everybody wins.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, here you go.
We also
you're selfish, but it works.
Right. We also collect more data and feedback that way as well, right?
Well, I know, like, since we have competitive PvP in there, I know that's Redstorm's jam. Like, they'll be stoked to be gathering data for that. I know that there's an MMR system in there now that they're that needs a lot of data.
Yeah, that's right.
So we need people to play a lot of matches and generate a lot of information there, and also feedback.
How do people play? Once we can do all the tests internally that we want, but really seeing like a huge mass of the division players like out there in the world, there's nothing better than that data to really see how the game holds up. Cool. I saw a question in chat a little bit before. What can you tell us about stash space?
Okay. Before we talk about that, there's one thing I wanted to mention because I think that's important to mention it because there's always the discussion about, but the beta is happening too late and it's not going to have an impact on launch or whatever. And while this is true to some extent, like not all the feedback we get during the beta is something that can be done for launch. It doesn't mean that it's not useful. And I think that's something that's very important. That's a message that I want to get out there is that, whatever it is that you find out during the beta, whatever is the feedback you give us, whatever is the opinion you have, even if it's something we cannot act on for the launch, it's still something that is important for us to know looking forward. We're going to be keeping working on that game for, a very long time. So we want to know as soon as possible what you want us to do with it. So right from the beta, even if there are some things that you see in there that you don't see have changed when the game launches, that doesn't mean they will never change. I think that's something that's very important to get out.
That's right. Like I think sometimes it's it's hard to see that game development sometimes just takes a little bit longer than you would expect that it would take, right? Because all of the testing, all of this, there's all sorts of processes in place for ensuring that what goes out is good quality and so I mean all of that feedback is going to be so incredibly useful, and I know that myself and the entire design team and gameplay team is all really looking forward to getting all that.
That is one thing I will say, and I can say it because I don't really work on that team, is that a huge shout out to everyone who's working on the game, because like people here in the office are like super invested and basically all out on this game, making it awesome. So awesome, good job. And also, if anyone comes for them, I'll fight you. It's what's going to happen. And I'm huge, so
enormous.
Drew's just
he doesn't look like it.
Drew's 200 kilos.
It's the perspective. It's the perspective that makes Hamish look small, but he actually is
exactly
super huge.
Yeah, that's just.
Have you seen Lord of the Rings? It's like that.
Don't even. Like, the amount of times I've been like, apparently I look a lot like Billy Boyd.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never thought of that.
Also, you come from New Zealand, so you basically
clearly
live there.
Well, okay. This is totally off topic. My friend's dad was he played Gambling, one of the writers of Rohan.
No way.
Bruce.
That's super cool.
Bruce Hopkins is he's a cool dude. Anyway, New Zealand things.
Stash space.
Enough. Thanks for dodging my questions.
No, I'm not dodging. I just, before we move on from beta topic, I wanted to get that. All right, stash space. So what's going on with stash space? We know it's a big topic. It's something that people have been talking about for a very long time. So what we're doing with stash space and the way we're looking at it, and here we're talking about the perk of actually getting the Elite Agent pack that comes with what was called like extra stash space, or I can't remember what the actual wording of it was. So the idea is by getting that pack, what you're going to unlock is you're going to unlock extra stash space early on when you play the game. So the idea is really to give an extra boost from the early stages to the people that have it. So you're going to get extra stash space from the beginning.
Okay, give me numbers.
But then everybody gets to catch up.
All right. Okay.
That's the important
But that's the important part, right?
Yeah.
Is that second part. Is that everyone gets to catch up. Right?
So, and the way it works is we have a perk system in the game. So you're going to be, and you have that in the beta actually, you can gain what we call shade tech, which is, a kind of currency that you have to explore the world and find to, unlock new skill variants, new perks, and all these kind of things. And some of those perks are actually to increase your inventory space and your stash space. And so what we're going to do is, for those that have this extra stash space, they're going to start with the final perk directly unlocked. So they don't have to grind to get it. They will have it directly unlocked, which means at the beginning of the game, they will have more stash space. But that perk is available for everybody to get in the game as well if you get the currency. So you're going to get to play the game, unlock all the perks that are related to stash space, and eventually, completely catch up. When you reach endgame, everybody is going to be at the same level.
Right.
And what we're looking at, since people are very attached to numbers,
I am.
What we're looking at is basically you start with 50 slots in your stash. Then you have an extra 50 that you're going to be able to unlock through various perks as you play the game, as you play the campaign. And then you have the final perk that is an extra 50 that unlocks just when you're doing the end game. And that's that one. That's that extra 50 that you can unlock in the end game. That's going to be unlocked right from the beginning for people that have the Elite Agent pack. So people that have the Elite Agent pack start with 100, get to reach 150 by the time they finish the campaign. The others start with 50, get to reach 100 when they finish the campaign, and then unlock the 150 as they play the end game.
To be clear as well, that's not the only thing you get in that edition of the game.
No.
No. I know we focused on it because it was a question from chat.
Yeah, that was a very important discussion. So it's important to clarify that.
All right.
But yes, there's much more things you get.
Yes,
with that.
That is another stream. All right. Thank you. Thank you for that.
I hope that makes sense.
I think it makes sense. I think it makes a lot of sense. I'm almost ready to start playing this game. I'm really excited. Yes, I was going to ask you
one bit of information.
Please.
That,
he's going off script. He's going off script.
I know.
I don't have it in here, Drew. Drew, improv. I have time.
Can I just say that one of the really cool features that we haven't talked about at all?
I'm so scared. All right, no, please.
Is that you can play with your friend of any level.
Oh yeah, this is really cool.
It's pretty cool, and we haven't mentioned it at all.
Yeah.
And
And we had questions about that actually, yeah. So how does it work?
So like the way it works is that if a friend is a higher level than you, you play with them, you essentially get leveled up to their level, and you get to play with them without any kind of penalty. You still get XP, you still get loot, and it's all for you. It's not like it's this inaccessible, leveled up loot or something like that. It takes care of it. So like behind the scenes, we basically give you this buff that makes you kind of play like a higher level character than you actually are. And then once you leave the game, you go back to your normal level, but you have all the XP, you have all the loot, you have all of that stuff.
Is that leveraging similar systems to the normalization that we have in PvP, or is it an entirely different thing?
I think it's a different thing. Tech-wise, I actually don't know.
Yeah.
So
question for someone else.
That's a question for someone else, yeah.
Right.
But then everything you get then is scaled to your level, right?
Yeah, and Mattia could probably give a lot more details. But yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But it's an awesome system. It works super well. It's very simple and streamlined.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's exciting for me, being a new dad. not having a lot of time or predictable time playing with friends.
I thought you were going to talk about like playing with your kid.
Being your dad, like my kid can play the game and my kid won't suck as much
playing
as
with my
3
months old.
Exactly.
Be nice.
Yeah.
But it's a cool feature that I'm excited about for sure.
I was so terrified when you said I want to talk about something we've never mentioned before. But that's cool. Lots more to come. But yes, as I mentioned before, do stick around. I'm going to be playing through the first 1 hour of the beta in just a second. We'll be giving away some games.
So how far do you reckon you'll make it?
I was thinking that I will do like the White House liberation part, get into the settlement, first mission, and maybe we'll leave it there. Because I kind of want to take it slow and show off some things. There's some...
1 hour might not be enough to make it that far.
I'm pretty quick.
He wants to take it slow, but he's pretty quick.
Yeah.
Okay.
China. Yes. All right. Well, thanks, guys, for joining me. This was a fun throwback to 2016.
Yeah.
I missed you.
It feels like home.
Oh. Sorry, I have one more thing.
Wow, so many of these. All right, please.
I have one more thing that maybe in your stream you might show off, but...